Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? I don't have a t-shirt underneath this sweatshirt. I'm also not wearing any pants. I'm actually not. Okay, hi guys, my name's Shannon, and this is my updated coming out story. Okay, so basically I made a coming out video, like coming out story video, like 2 years ago, and it's pretty horrible. I did it on a MacBook. I cut the top of my head out of the whole video for some weird reason. Like, I knew that I had done it, so why did I do that? Anyway, I recommend that you watch it, even though it's super long and it's a little bit painfully boring, but I think it's cool to see that version of me versus this version of me, and I think it's going to be interesting to hear how different this might sound now 2 years later, because that little Shannon was still fully not comfortable with herself at all. I mean, this Shannon's still working on it all the time. So let's start. Okay. Basically, I started to realize that I was not straight when I was like coming from middle school going into high school. That inkling started to come in my mind. There was a show on the end called South of Nowhere, and I was way too into it. It had like two girl characters who like were liking each other, and I loved it. And that was kind of like a whoa, you might not be straight moment in my life. And then by the time I was like 16, I was pretty confident that I was gay, although I did not want to be, so I tried everything in my power not to be. I went to a conservative school in Oklahoma, the University of Oklahoma, and I joined a sorority, and I was like, I'm gonna pray the gay away. And I really did try to do that genuinely. Like, it's a joke, but it's not, because I did try that, and it did not work. That did not work. That does not work, turns out. Anyway, so the hardest person for me to come out to was myself, and that took me 4 years in and of itself, just to tell myself that and be like, yep, it's 100%, it's not changing. I remember like clearly I had this day and I looked myself in the mirror and I was like crying, and I was like, I'm gay. And then honestly from that point forward, things changed a lot. They got better. I mean, they got harder because then I had to deal with the reality that I was gonna have to tell people other than myself, which telling myself was hard enough. So that was like a life-changing moment for me, and if you guys haven't done that and you maybe want to do that, I recommend it. It's like a very weird thing to do, but you should do it if you've not done it and you want to do it. I don't know. So I went to my freshman year of college. I dated a guy for like the first semester of college, kind of, and then I went home for winter break, and it was like it all just came crashing back. And I was like, oh my god, this is not right, can't do this. So then I built up confidence the whole second semester of my freshman year to tell my family, and that's what I did. That summer I came out to my sister first. She was really great about it, and then I came out to my mom, and she was also really great about it, and then I wrote a letter to my dad, and he was also really great about it. I think they all, especially my mom and dad, it's not like it was an overnight like, this is amazing, I'm so excited that you're gay. It was like a, we love you no matter what, and we're gonna like, you know, wrap our heads around it sort of thing. But I think both of them were just worried about me and my quality of life. Obviously, you don't want your kids to have to deal with anything on top of just being a kid, which is hard enough. So I think that was a big concern for them, just me dealing with more than just the plain and simple. After I came out to my family, I went back to college, I went back to OU, and this is when I started a very, very slow, painful coming out process. If I had to compare it to anything, it would be like when you rip a band-aid off. I pulled and felt each and every hair. I think with coming out, for everyone, it's got to be your own journey, your own story, what makes you feel most comfortable and confident, and mine just happened to be very slow. Yeah, I came out to like 3 friends my sophomore year. My junior year I came out to like 4 more people, and then my senior year is when I really started to like tell people with more like quicker. All of this isn't really that interesting. What is interesting is the people who I told were so supportive, and I was so nervous to tell so many of them because so many of my friends were very religious. I'm not talking like they go to church sometimes. No, I mean they went to church every Sunday. They also opted out of spring break before so they could go on a mission trip. Like, very religious friends, and that can be very scary to tell people like that. Also, a lot of them I had heard say homophobic things before to me, like not just like sometimes, like I mean I was hearing stuff like that often. Sometimes people just don't understand and they're just ignorant to it. It takes knowing someone like me or knowing someone like yourself to show them that, look, this is normal, this is not weird. I just happen to like the same sex and I have no control over it. And yeah, people will surprise you, which you guys know I've said many times. So up until my senior year, I was sitting people down, having very emotional conversations with them, and that is just really draining. And not every single person in your life, not every friend is the type of friend that you would sit down and like cry to, which is fine. But it was hard for me to find that balance and make that switch over into coming out to people just like casually or letting it like just come out. That was really difficult for me. That was like a hard part in my coming out process. But I figured it out and it started to happen, and then people started just to talk about me and telling people, and it was so terrifying and I hated it. I hate people talking about me. I hate knowing people are talking about me. I had a couple instances where I knew like people were talking about me in group texts and I would see it, and some stuff was not always that positive or nice, and that was hard. But by the time that started happening and my name started to circulate, I already had such a good core of people who I felt comfortable with and I knew loved me no matter what, and that wasn't changing our friendship. Those other people, they start not to matter as much. It still sucks, no one wants to be talked about, but when you have those people, those core people, it makes those other people much more irrelevant. Now, something that you couldn't possibly know from that video that I posted is that video is actually how I came out to the rest of my university and the rest of like everyone. When I recorded the video, it was purely gonna go on my like Tumblr and like YouTube and share with my social media following, which none of my friends knew I even had. What I ended up doing is I finished editing that video and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna post this also to my social circles, social media. I basically had 2 Instagrams, I had 2 Twitters. I was the lesbian Hannah Montana. I thought I was confident then. A part of me thought like, oh yeah, I've got it now. Like now I'm comfortable, now I'm confident in my skin and I'm like happy and I'm out, blah, blah, blah. I was not at all. I was still very much so struggling with that. I just think that's like an important thing to tell you guys because you can see the difference. You can see how much has changed in 2 years. And I know so many of you also are feeling the same way and are struggling with coming out and are coming out. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, like this is as comfortable as I'm ever gonna get. You're gonna blow your own mind. I always say people will surprise you, but you're gonna surprise yourself. I am constantly surprising myself. I genuinely can't believe that me in this video today is the same person as me in that video 2 years ago. That blows my mind. Things just keep getting better. It's like, I know that's such a cheesy, it's just such a thing, it gets better, but it's so crazy how true it is. Like every day I feel more confident, every single day. It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's gonna happen for you guys, and that's so exciting for me, and I'm so happy for you guys, and I hope this video inspires someone to, I don't know, start making the steps forward into coming out, even if you're like me and it takes you like 6 years fully to like accept and come out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Your coming out journey is your journey. There's no wrong way to do it. You can do whatever you want. You can do it however you want. Don't let anyone tell you you're not coming out fast enough. Don't let anyone tell you not to come out. Like, you need to do what is right for you. At the end of the day, even if you think maybe you don't know what that is, let's be honest, you do. I mean, when you look into yourself, you know what you want. Even when I was telling myself I would never come out, I knew deep down that that was not true and not possible, and that was not a reality or a life that I ever could possibly live. And it just took me the time to accept that and realize that that was okay. Yeah, that's me. I'm out. Coming out. I'm coming out. If coming out is something that you're struggling with, I am thinking about you and I love you, and you have a whole community of people who are waiting for you with open arms, and we love you. I love you. I love you. Okay, my ass is really sweaty. I am leaving. Mwah! Love you. I love you. Stay strong. I'm thinking about you.